Airlines are currently sitting on billions of dollars that belong to you. They are banking on your ignorance. Stop. You pay a premium for comfort, but you often end up in a metal trap that crushes your hips. 8 hours of immobility is not just annoying, it is a legitimate risk for a life-threatening blood clot. They owe you thousands for lost bags, but they will try to quiet you with a cheap sandwich coupon. The system is rigged. You need these 12 rules to navigate the minefield and come out with your health and your cash intact. Here is Rule 1. Rule 1 of 12. Here is Rule 1 of 12. A $100 premium for extra legroom often buys you the narrowest seat on the entire plane. This is not a mistake. It is a design trap. Evelyn, a 45-year-old nurse, discovered this at Barcelona El Prat, BCN. She booked the front row for her 10-hour flight across the Atlantic. More space for her legs? Absolutely. But her hips were bruised. The airline won't tell you this, but bulkhead seats have fixed metal armrests. The tray table is hidden inside them. You lose 2 inches of seat width. Evelyn was pinned in like a sardine. The system is rigged. Stop. Check seat maps for fixed armrests before you pay. Ask the gate agent if the dividers move. It is better to have standard room than a crushed pelvis. Evelyn was stuck for 10 hours. Reality check. Agents cannot widen a metal frame. They profit while you suffer. But that is nothing compared to the money you lose when Rule 2 hits your lower back. Rule 2 of 12. Check your seat map before you buy that upgrade. Daniel, a 33-year-old librarian, was at Charlotte Douglas, CLT, for a long-haul trip. He paid $90 extra for an exit row. He wanted space to stretch. He needed to sleep. But the row in front was also an exit row. This meant his seat was bolted to the floor, no recline. Daniel sat perfectly upright for the entire trip. His spine felt like it was on fire. The airline won't tell you this. They hope you do not know the layout. Verify the row on seating websites first. Look for the phrase limited recline. If you are at the gate, ask the agent if the row is fixed. They often allow a last-minute switch if you catch it early. Don't assume legroom means comfort. It is often a trap. Agents cannot always move you once the doors close. Daniel learned it the hard way. Legroom is a test, and Daniel failed. But even a reclining seat won't help if your stomach is doing flips. That is where Rule 3 comes in. Rule 3 of 12. Rule 3 of 12 focuses on physics. Mila, a 22-year-old student, sat in the last row at Austin Bergstrom, AUS. Her knuckles were white as she gripped the armrests. The flight hit a sudden pocket of rough air. Every bump felt like a roller coaster drop. This is the mistake most nervous flyers make. They pick the back because they think they are closer to the exit. Stop. Think about a seesaw. The back of the plane moves the most. They are banking on your ignorance of gravity. For a smoother ride, you need the center of gravity. That means sitting directly over the wings. Mila did not know this, but being over the wing can feel up to 50% smoother during heavy turbulence. Next time, book rows 10 through 15. It will not stop the shaking, but it turns a nightmare into a minor annoyance. Mila was exhausted when she landed. You do not have to be. Comfort is one thing, but your privacy is another. This tip saves your nerves, but it will not protect your face from a digital scan. Rule 4 of 12. Did you know you are being watched by more than just cameras at Kansas City, MCI? Grayson, a 42-year-old software engineer, stood at the security line staring at a glowing blue lens. The agent waved him forward. Look into the camera. Grayson felt the pressure. Most travelers think these biometric scans are mandatory. They are not. TSA is rolling out facial recognition at every major U.S. airport by 2026, but they hope you do not know the opt-out rule. When you reach the podium, look at the officer. Say the phrase, I would like to opt out of the biometric scan, please. For U.S. citizens, this is voluntary. The officer will then perform a manual ID check. Grayson did this. It took an extra 40 seconds, but his biometric data stayed out of the cloud. Reality check. Some agents might seem annoyed. Stay calm. Grayson protected his data, but that will not save your wallet when the airline bumps you from your seat. That is where Rule 5, financial warfare, begins. Rule 5 of 12. Airlines are currently sitting on billions of dollars that belong to travelers. Most people accept a cheap meal voucher when their flight vanishes. Alexander did not. This 31-year-old architect was at Stockholm Arlanda, ARN, when his flight was scrapped. The agent tried to hand him a $15 coupon for a soggy sandwich. Alexander refused. Stop. They are banking on your ignorance. The system is rigged to keep your cash in their pockets. Current standards often allow for automatic refunds. No more filling out complex forms or begging on hold for 3 hours. If your flight is canceled and you do not take the rebooking, they frequently owe you a full cash refund. Alexander did not settle for a lunch. He got his full refund back on his card within days. The airline won't tell you this. They have to pay, not just offer. They profit, you lose. Subscribe to beat the system. But cash is useless if they destroy your expensive gear in Rule 6. Rule 6 of 12. Check your baggage rights now or lose thousands to corporate greed. Isabella, a 58-year-old marketing manager, stood at a silent carousel in Raleigh-Durham, RDU. Her suitcase was gone. The agent offered her a cheap toothbrush and a $50 voucher. Isabella was livid. Her bag held gear worth far more than that. Most people walk away feeling defeated. Do not be one of them. They bank on your ignorance. Here is the fix. For domestic U.S. flights, the Department of Transportation limits liability at around $3,800. Tell the agent, I know my rights regarding baggage liability limits. Document every item. Isabella did exactly that and eventually got her expensive gear replaced. This works most of the time. But a full suitcase won't help if you are trapped on the tarmac for 5 hours. That is where Rule 7, tarmac survival, hits you. Rule 7 of 12. Olivia, a 29-year-old journalist, sat strapped into seat 14B at Oslo Airport, OSL. She watched rain streak across the window. The pilot's voice crackled. Just 15 more minutes. But 15 turned into 60, then 2 hours. The cabin hit 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Olivia felt trapped. The system is rigged against the silent. They hope you do not know the tarmac delay rule. For international flights, the limit is 4 hours. For domestic, it is 3. After 2 hours, they owe you water and a snack. Olivia checked her watch. It was 1:45 p.m. She pressed the call button. She asked the attendant about the deplanement plan. The airline won't tell you this, but they have a clock to beat. High fines apply if they cross the line. Olivia did not panic. She used the law as a shield. You are not a prisoner. But tarmac delays are nothing compared to what happens to your personal space in Rule 8. Rule 8 of 12. Do you know who actually owns the middle armrests on a flight? Jackson was flying out of Boston Logan, BOS, after a grueling month as a 47-year-old accountant. He was stuck in 14B, the dreaded middle seat. The passenger in 14A leaned against the window. The passenger in 14C stretched into the aisle. Both of them clamped their elbows onto Jackson's armrests. He felt like a sardine. The airline won't tell you this, but they profit while you suffer in silence. Stop. Here is the etiquette fix. The middle seat gets both armrests, period. Experts agree because the middle passenger has no wall to lean on, and no aisle to stretch into. They are banking on your ignorance. Claim your space early with a polite nod. Jackson eventually reclaimed his armrest. This works most of the time, but elbow room won't matter if the flight is overbooked. Wait until you see Rule 9. Rule 9 of 12. Over 40% of travelers would pay a premium just for a little extra space, yet they never ask for the secret rate. John, a 63-year-old lawyer, stood at the gate in San Diego, SAN, feeling the walls close in. His flight was overbooked. He looked at the middle seat. Too tight for a 6-foot-tall man. The airline won't tell you this. They are banking on your ignorance. Most do not know that for a small fee, you can often buy the seat next to you. It is often called a comfort seat policy. John realized too late that for the cost of a mediocre airport dinner, he could have secured an entire row. Simply call the reservation desk 24 hours before departure. Ask for the extra seat rate specifically. In many cases, it is a fraction of the standard fare. This works more often than you think. John missed his chance, but even a private row won't protect your health in Rule 10. Rule 10 of 12. Keep your feet moving or risk your life. Avery, a 28-year-old developer, learned this at Minneapolis-St. Paul, MSP. After 8 hours, her legs felt heavy and swollen. This is not just boredom. It is a silent threat called deep vein thrombosis. The airline won't tell you this, but sitting still too long causes blood clots. They are banking on your ignorance of physiology. Use the ankle pump secret. Every hour, lift your feet. Point your toes up, then flex them down. Do this 30 times. This forces your calves to pump blood back to your heart. Avery did this every time her watch buzzed. The tingling stopped. Reality check. Simple stretches won't fix a medical emergency, but they slash your risks. Avery avoided the hospital. Sitting is a test. Do not fail. But physical health is only half the battle. Rule 11 will protect your lungs. Rule 11 of 12. Matteo, a 51-year-old designer, gripped his seat at Copenhagen, CPH. He tried to breathe through his shirt. A passenger 3 rows up coughed loudly. To Matteo, the cabin felt like a flying petri dish. He felt the air and imagined germs swirling around. Many believe airplane air is just stale breath. It is a common fear. But the truth is the opposite. The air you breathe is likely cleaner than a grocery store. They hope you do not know this, but modern jets use HEPA filters. These capture nearly 99.9% of viruses. The air refreshes every 3 minutes. Stop. Do not turn off the air vent. Open it. Pointing it at your face creates an invisible air curtain. This flow pushes away particles before you inhale them. Germs actually live on surfaces like tray tables, not in the airstream. Matteo stayed healthy by using the vent. You have mastered the air. But that won't save your wallet when Rule 12 hits. Rule 12 of 12. Did you know that a $5 bag of chocolates can get you better service than a $500 seat upgrade? Asher, a 39-year-old chef, stood at the service desk at Newark Liberty, EWR. He stared at a screen glowing red with cancellations. He had been stuck for 5 hours. The agent, Jessica, looked defeated. Asher knew the airline won't tell you this, but these workers are banking on your ignorance of their discretionary power. He slid a bag of high-end chocolates across the counter. "You look like you are having a rough day," he said with a genuine smile. Jessica's face softened. She tapped her keys and found a seat on the next flight that was not even showing up on the mobile app. Agents have the power to waive 50-pound baggage fees or find a better row if they choose. It was not a bribe. It was a strategy of appreciation. Small gift, big win. If you do not know these rules, the airport will take your money every time. Don't be the passenger they take advantage of. Join our squad by subscribing now.